and let's just say I'm the lineal champion of my era, and I can only be the best of my day, and I've done that. I'm the best fighter in my era. I'm the generation fighter. I actually feel sorry for all these guys who's had to fight me, because I've got in the dressing room at home. I'm not nervous. You know, it's a boxing fight to me. I feel sorry for them because they're fighting the fighter of the generation. That's for sure. But you know what? I thought that we fought it all out there, and all the allegations that they made towards me, like throughout the build-up of this fight, and we fought like two warriors in there. And I went over to shake his hand and say, "Well done," and he was like, "No, I don't respect you." I was like, "How can you say I've cheated when you know in your own heart and your full team knows that you just got beat fair and square?" So it's just like, he's just a sore loser in boxing or what? But I'm sure he's not the first one, and he won't be the last one. He took a lot of punishment tonight, Deontay Wilder, and that puts a lot of mileage on the clock. So did I. I took a lot of punishment as well. I had some good shots, and I've got put over and got back up, and it was just a great fight all in all, you know. Like Sugar said, you got to take your hat off to Wilder's team and him as well. He put up a good fight, and that's what I'm here for. I wasn't here to blow someone over in one round. I travelled the world for so many years to find challenges, and he gave me a real worthy challenge tonight for sure. We'll see. You know, I've just earned a well-earned break from everything. Been away from my family for 6 months in total. Been home 2 weeks out of the last 6 months. So before I start thinking about fighting other men, I'm going to bask in this victory, because this tonight was one of my greatest wins. I got off the floor to do it, and you know, I'm the big dog in the division. I believe that probably one of the heaviest heavyweight champions in history tonight, 277 pounds. And you know, I was fit, I was strong in there, and I felt good. So yeah, we'll just see what today brings, and tomorrow as well.
What is going on, my guys? On another edition of All American Sports Network, it's your boy Joel Davis. If it's your first time tuning into the broadcast, do me a favor, go ahead on and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell up top. Please like and share. Please like and share. Just wanted to give y'all an introduction of what Tyson Fury talked about last night with the whole Deontay Wilder fight. How the sportsmanship of Deontay Wilder was not as respectable as we thought it would be. It was a great fight. We saw two of the best of the heavyweights right now in the game. Settle who was the best once and for all. And it's proved to be that Tyson Fury was a better man. Now, we all know when I came and I talked about this on my commentary, I was concerned about Tyson Fury's weight. We talked about this. We said the weight is what got me concerned the most, because Tyson Fury weight was a lot heavier. It was 20 pounds than the last fight. But then again, when we look at the weight of uh, my boy Wilder, Wilder weight wasn't the best either. See, nobody talked about Wilder's weight. Nobody never talked about Wilder's weight at all. Wilder also came in heavy. He wasn't the same. Now, I thought that was shocking that ESPN and them didn't talk about that, but Fury had said, you know, his weight is not the same as it was. He even gained more weight. So it seemed like to me that Wilder had put on the weight because he was trying to match that energy. you know what I'm saying, of being able to not get knocked around. And at the end of the day, it just did not help the situation. It didn't help the situation at all. We're gonna go and we're gonna get into what they were saying from the ESPN standpoint, and I'll give you my collective of what I've seen and what I observed on the fight. Y'all do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell up top, guys. Let's try to get this channel growing. We at 12 now. I appreciate everybody following the channel. I'm glad we're growing slowly. Hopefully, we will grow at a tremendous rate. Now, Deontay Wilder just didn't want to go away. We knew about that after the third round knockdown. But Tyson Fury did beat him around that ring. And he did went out on his shield. And he wore him down. Okay? There was a knockdown in the 10th round. And then he knocked Wilder down in the 11th. All right? Now, it was five knockdowns. Because Wilder went down 3 times and Fury went down twice. And that was both in round 4. Now, what Fury said when he went down twice, before I get to break down the article, Fury said that when he went down, he was not dazed at all. Like, he said like his body was kind of prepared for the power of what Wilder was capable of doing. So that tells me that he was really prepared mentally to get this accomplished. Now, I do got some questions on the training that Deontay Wilder had. I thought that was questionable, but we'll talk about that later. I want to break down this article and tell you what I think. Fury was ahead on all 3 scorecards, but the fight was stopped. He was 95 to Wilder's 92. He was 94 to Wilder's 92. And he was 95 to Wilder's 91. And ESPN scored it 96 to 89. Now, that's brutal. You know, ESPN, they usually, you know, try to be a little more fair when it's 2 heavyweights like this. But they was all in Fury's favor. That's crazy. They said it was a great fight tonight. They said Fury, and what Fury said at 33, it was worthy of any trilogy in the history of the sport. He said Wilder's a tough fighter. I always said I'm the best in the world. He's second best. Y'all heard that whenever he was talking about it. Now, regardless of where Wilder, who's 35, is ranked, after the second loss of Fury, his heart can never be questioned. That's true. He do got heart. Now, this is what I thought was stupid on Wilder's part. Now, he fired his assistant trainer, Mark Berlin, right? And in his place, he hired the guy who he knocked out, like, in the early part of his career when he was on the rise.
My name is Giancarlo Esposito.
Why would you hire somebody you
and I'm
knocked
preparing
out?
to bring you my most monstrous villain yet. Anton Castillo.
What was that
in Far
about?
Cry 6.
I mean, the dude didn't even
Do you
have.
know
I
what
mean,
you're
he had a
getting into?
pretty good
Taking on
record, but he
Anton,
didn't have
fighting
like
on the
an
side of the
awesome
guerrilla.
record. So
While I've confronted some formidable foes in
that
my
right there
time,
confused
I
me.
now face
I've
someone
always
entirely
wondered
new.
that. Why? Why would you do that?
Buy it now,
But
or else.
I
Rated
digress.
M for sure.
Play it on the
Now
all-new
Wilder is now
Xbox.
42 wins, 2 losses, and he has 1 knockout.
Well, they say in the SEC it just means more.
All right.
What does this one
Now
mean to you?
he did
It means a
survive
lot. It means as much
his
as the
third
last one
round
did.
knockdown.
It means as much as the next one's going to. I mean,
Okay.
it's one game mentality, one game at a time. And I'm so glad we came out
In
here. I'm really
round
proud of
4.
how we played. Definitely our most complete offensive game we've had in
sent
terms of
Fury
just how
to
we
the mat.
operated. So it's good to see that and just know that we
And
can watch
then
the tape
Fury
and
knocked,
see that there are instances and flashes of what we
him
can do
down
as an offense,
again.
what we have to continue to be for the rest of the season.
We knew visual deception was going to be a big part of the game plan.
Hold on, y'all.
When you're out there
Hold
executing
on,
this
hold on.
offense today, what did you see that you put in specifically for LSU that worked?
I hate when they do
I think
that.
our two-back backfield stuff worked
I'm
a lot.
talking
Obviously,
and
the
I'm trying to
touchdown
break
throw I
something
had
down.
on the wheel to
Got
Jatan,
all this
I was really
wrestling
excited for him.
background.
But we just had a lot of concepts and stuff just with the personnel that we had with Josh being out and just working.
Okay. I don't want to hear that. I don't know why that was playing. My mistakes, guys. Anyway. But when he got knocked down, you know, let me see here. Now, when he knocked Fury down in round 4, everybody thought that, okay, Wilder may turn this into a fight for himself. But it was like Fury was prepared for it. It's like it really didn't hurt Fury. Just like it really pissed Fury off. Now he said, and this is also what Fury said. He caught me twice in the round 4 and the 4th round, but I was never thinking, oh, this is over. Fury said, he shook me, put me down. Well, that's boxing, and that's life as well. It's not how many times you get knocked down. You got to keep fighting and keep moving forward. And that's true. Y'all got to remember, this is coming from a guy who survived, who was on drug addiction, okay? This coming from a guy where everybody has said Tyson Fury wasn't going to come back to boxing. He was not going to be at his peak like he was before. And he has done a freaking 360, okay? He went from being a guy on drugs, a guy that was at rock bottom in his life, to being a bona fide fighter, you know, a bona fide champion. Now, by the 7th round, Wilder was absorbing a beating. He seemed ready to go at any moment as Fury drilled him with haymaker after haymaker. At several moments, referee Russell Mora appeared close to stepping in to halt the fight, but he never did. Wilder usually threw a punch at just the right time to show he was still ready to go. The Gypsy King never got reckless, surely leery of Wilder's dangerous right hand, but he continued to dole out punishment. When Wilder threw punches, he almost fell over numerous times from the exhaustion and pain, and then Fury dropped Wilder again in the 10th and again. Wilder rose to beat the count, but finally, mercifully in the 11th round, Fury landed the fight-ending shot, a devastating right hand that instantly dropped Wilder in a heap. Mora didn't bother the count. There was no need. The fight was over. It was a minute and 10 seconds left of the round 11, ending the trilogy featuring 30 total rounds. I haven't seen the actual knockout tonight, but I felt it. Fury said, I hit him with a solid crunching right hook to the temple. And the shots like that, they end careers. He definitely took some punishment, so we'll see what he can do in the future. Fury said he attempted to speak with Wilder in the ring afterwards, but said Wilder declined. I'm a sportsman, Fury said. I went over to show some love and respect, and he didn't want to show it back, so I pray for him. Personal anonymous consumed Fury and Wilder in the lead up to the 3rd fight, a trilogy chapter that almost didn't happen. They battled a controversial draw in their December 2018 bout before Fury extricated Wilder in February 2020. Wilder immediately exercised his rematch clause, and the 3rd meeting was slated for July 2020 before Wilder claimed the injury, which gave him a 90-day extension. October was then eyed, but the coronavirus pandemic proved to be a tremendous obstacle. and the second Fury fight generated a gate of nearly $17 million, shattering the record for a heavyweight fight title in Nevada. Previous revenue promoters, Top Rank and PBC, were unwilling to forfeit. All right, so let's talk about the stats. Now, Fury landed 150 punches. Now, a lot of people gonna say how he was able to land 150 punches and he only threw 385, while Wilder threw 355 if only landed 72. 20% versus 39%. Let me tell you how this was possible. Fury is a skilled fighter. We talked about this on this channel, and I talked about this before, that Fury is a skilled fighter. He really is. He really is a skilled fighter. When you go against the Gypsy King, he know how to box and he got power. So when you got a man that got power and know how to actually box, that is scary. Deontay Wilder is a brawler. He's a power puncher. Brawlers, they use their power to end fights. They don't like going long rounds. They use their power, exert it, you're down. They try to win the fight at least by the 6th round. They're not going a whole 12 rounds of boxing. They ain't doing it. They ain't got time for it. Now, if they do go 12 rounds of boxing, then that's when you find out if the brawler got boxing skill, an actual skill, or they just a power puncher. The only brawlers I've really seen that had skill in boxing is Tyson. Tyson was a brawler, but Tyson was a skilled brawler. Okay? He knew how to do the basics just to set you up and beat that behind if he had to. But most of the time, Tyson had enough power to just end you. Now, here's another thing that we got to look at too about the jab. Fury is a jabbing mother sucker. Okay? This is one of the things about great fighters. Great fighters use the jab as their advantage. People think that the jab is weak. No, it's not. The jab is actually always setting up for combos. The jab is like the safety net, entryway of getting where you want to control the fight. If you know you got somebody that's a power puncher like Deontay Wilder, you want to have a good jab. You want to jab them back. You want to, because that jab frustrates you. Because now they got to do more than just try to throw that big shot, throw a big haymaker. They got to actually strategically box you. They got to actually move their body. They got to actually avoid that jab to actually come up with counters. Now, let's talk about the jabs that was thrown. 117 was thrown by Fury, and 36 of them were landed. Wilder only threw 102 and only 9 landed. That is 9%. That's not good. That is bad. Very bad. Now, let's look at power that was landed. Fury had power punches, was 114 of them. Wilder only landed 63. The power punches that was thrown was 268, and Wilder only had 253. So in all reality, Wilder was missing the mark. Because again, it proved that the way Fury moves as a big man, you got to be a boxer. The boxer, yeah, he got the power, but do you got the boxing? That's the thing. So, was it a good fight? Yeah, I think it was a good fight. I think that the fight lived up to the hype. It just showed us that Fury is the real deal. Now the question is, what do the Deontay Wilder goes from here? Why didn't Deontay Wilder shake this man's hand like other people do in boxing? I tell you why he did. Andy Reese. He said bum squad. Andy, I'm with you. I'm with you. He was a bum on this, Andy. Thanks for shouting out, Andy. I hope you follow the channel, brother. And I agree. Listen, I was a Deontay Wilder fan until he started getting so arrogant he didn't want to shake this man's hand. Okay? No matter what the personal shots that was said. No matter what the personal shots that were said. He should have went and shook this man's hand because it was a competitive fight. They are both one of the biggest names in boxing. And this time he can't say that this man cheated. Everything was weighed, unwrapped, perfect. These gloves were unwrapped, checked. They even showed it on camera. They were checked professionally. Deontay has to understand something. You're 35 years old. In boxing, that's kind of like getting towards over the hill. You don't have that brawling power and prowess like you used to. You got guys in the ring that will knock you clean out. Now, do I think Deontay could beat Anthony Joshua? Most definitely, because Anthony Joshua has a glass jaw. Do I think Deontay Wilder could beat Usyk, the guy that just beat Anthony Joshua? No way in hell. That dude would rock Deontay to sleep because he got skill. Now, do I think that Fury can beat Usyk? Yes, all day. Because Fury is bigger, stronger, and he's a skilled fighter. And he got power behind that punch. And ain't nobody messing with that. Now, give me 1 second to tell my first lady bye. Shout out to the first lady, y'all. I had to say hello to her, my wife, man. But yeah, I mean, you can't ignore this. You really can't. Now, this is what the boxing world was saying last night. I mean, the MMA was shocked, man. Like, you know, a lot of people defended Deontay Wilder. They're like, oh, you know, Deontay's still a warrior. He's still my hero. Rah, rah, rah. Man, let me tell you something. Hero or not, I just didn't like the fact that he didn't shake the man's hand. You talked all this shit about how you could beat Fury. You made excuses. And that was a little bit legit. We were feeling the whole thing about when you said, okay, he, you know, he what he said that the first time, the second time, the costume was too heavy. Said the costume was too heavy. Okay, all right, we respect that. The costume could have been too heavy. All right, yeah, it did. All right, then the other excuse was, well, I think the padding on the gloves, there was more, some about the padding was messed up. Possibly, okay. This time, you saw in your thing the padding was not messed up. Fresh gloves out the pack. You said that you had the right uniform on. The only thing that was a problem was you gained extra pounds. I think 20 more pounds was gained on what's that boy name? Deontay Wilder's side, and then 20, there was an extra 20 pounds on Fury side. So you can't say that the weight slowed him down because he was able to manage the weight. You can't say the weight slow you down because last time you said you had to get your weight up. I tell you what it was. I think it was arrogance, and you did not listen. You fired the wrong guy. You fired your trainer. You should have kept your assistant trainer. Your assistant trainer probably knew what he needed to know to beat this dude. You got a guy who never had a great fucking record. Oh man, let me get right here to the comments here. Man, it said Tyson just has that gypsy magic. He's the Mike / Lennox of our generation. He is. The man came from drug addiction. He's a great. He came from drug addiction. Y'all remember when Fury was out? Fury, man, let me tell y'all something. They told Fury that he had no chance of coming back into the game of boxing. This man was strung out on drugs. What you said, you name it, that's what he was doing. And he went up here and he did what he had to do and got his body right. He got his body right. He overcame all that. And now he is really into his craft. You heard what he said in the documentary before this fight happened. You know, every fight had that documentary going. 6 days a week he trains. In the gym, 6 days a week. And you can tell because he is not fat like he used to be. I mean, old boy used to be heavy looking. I mean, straight heavy. And now he look like he is taking care of his body. He's maintaining his weight healthy. He's doing what he's supposed to do as a fighter. So let's talk about what everybody is taking away from this fight. Because now people are questioning, can anybody beat Fury? I would say somebody could, but it's going to have to be somebody who is taking L's from someone as tough as Fury or actually fought Fury and got the heart to actually observe and listen how not to be another Deontay Wilder. That's what I personally think. I mean, that's what I think. Now, a lot of people say, should Wilder be done? A lot of people in the boxing world like, nah, Wilder should be done. Wilder should just go ahead on, recover, and work around. I think Wilder should just go ahead on and retire. That's my personal opinion. You got 42 wins. You got 2 losses. You got knocked down. I would just go ahead on and go out on my shield the right way. You went out with beating Fury. Because if you stay in, you're going to have to fight Fury again. And you know you can't beat him. So why put yourself through that brutal battle? Now, he could probably go and try to chase another belt, but what that belt going to do? You know you're not going to be able to beat Usyk because Usyk beat the shit out of Anthony Joshua. So you know he'll do you the same way. I think that if I was Deontay Wilder, I step back. Hey, man, I'm in the record books. I held the title. I did my thing. I'm good. I'm focusing on something else. You can still be a commentary. I mean, if he quit, he wouldn't be a bum. I mean, he'll go down in history as one of the most outstanding, undefeated boxers for a long period of time until he met Fury. So he wouldn't be disrespected. He'll still be a legend. But I wouldn't. If I was him, how would I do? I'm 35. I'm still healthy. I recovered. I wouldn't go no more. I wouldn't fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to be 40 in 5 years. I got kids to raise. You know, I could train other fighters or something. You know, you about to hit. You about to hit that peak in the boxing world. When you hit 40 in the boxing world, a lot of people hit that peak. You don't want to be Manny Pacquiao and shit, all messed up, damn near 50 years old. Now you running for president. Now you want to go and lead the game. Just go and lead the game while you still good, bro. I would. That what Floyd Mayweather did right at 40. Floyd said, deuces. You 35. You can do it right now. You are already in the Hall of Fame. Do it. How would I do? I don't see him coming back from this, y'all. He talked too much noise. He have to show some humility, and not to mention too, Wilder's not going to change his boxing style. He's a brawler. He's not going to be a strategic boxer. To survive in this game now, you got to be a strategic boxer with that power. You've been trained to be a brawler. It's going to be hard to teach. You know what they say? It's hard to teach the old dog new tricks. Ain't going to happen. How would I do? It's time to retire, bro. I mean, you did it. You did it. You was the best to ever do it for a while anyway. So let's break into what they're saying. Who can beat Tyson Fury? And I'll tell you what I think about that. So this is from Coppinger off of ESPN. He's 6'9". He can box off the back foot, as he's shown in his 2015 upset win over Vladimir Klitschko, and again in his 2018 draw with Wilder. Fury has also proved that he can win with nonstop pressure too, as he did in his 2 wins over Wilder. In those 2 fights, Fury used bullying tactics and took advantage of his immense frame to lean on his foe and sap Wilder's energy with educated inside fighting. Guys, let me tell you something. When you can fight somebody and you can use that type of energy, where with as large a frame as Tyson Fury has, and you look like you're menacing, that will always break your opponent's spirit. And plus, you got power behind that. And y'all see how Fury fight. Fury fights like a man, I'm telling you, like a beast. Now, Fury said this was the greatest win. The night was one of his greatest wins. He said, I'm the big dog in the division. I'm probably one of the heaviest heavyweight champions in the history. Tonight, he's 277 pounds. I believe that I can beat anyone in history, any man born. I believe I have a really good chance of beating him. You just got to knock me spark out. And if you can't do that, you can't win. He right. You got to knock his ass out. Somehow, Fury might just be getting started. And the one thing he might lack is another worthy challenge. If Dylan White, who long waited for a shot at Fury, can turn back Otto Wallin on October 30th, it's likely the WBC will order a fight between Fury and White for the early next year. Somehow Saturday's win was the first title shot of Fury's career, despite first winning 3 titles in 2015 against Klitschko, followed by his 2020 win against Wilder. Y'all listen. White ain't ready. I know White been trying to get this fight. You're not going to beat Fury, bro. I mean, you got skill. I appreciate your skill. I've looked at you over the years too, but you're not ready for You're not ready for Fury, bro. You're not ready for Fury. Fury's going, oh, Lord. I'm not even going to get in there. I don't see it. But the bigger fight would be against ESPN's number 2 heavyweight, Oscar Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion who upset Anthony Joshua in September. Usyk win over Joshua came in. his third fight at heavyweight. He was outsized but used speed, beautiful footwork, and boxing smarts to outpin his foe. He has a rematch on tap with Joshua in the spring after the former champ exercises rematch clause on Saturday. Oh, he gonna need it. He gonna need it. Like, I ain't lying to you. Joshua Anthony better train like he never trained before. Cause Usyk beat his behind all over the ring. Did y'all see the highlights of you, man? I ain't even going there. I wouldn't want to do him like that, man. You, man. Hey, let's look at the Usyk, Joshua Anthony highlights right quick. I don't like usually doing that to people, but I got it. I gotta play this. I gotta play this. I gotta play this. I gotta play this. All right, hold on. I'm finna show this to y'all right now. I'm finna show y'all the highlight of what happened with old boy. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let y'all see it. I'm finna hide my stream and just show y'all what it is.
Challenge yet. Alexander Usyk from the Ukraine, and here we go.
But so, good backhand from Usyk. Smaller man from Ukraine. Oh! That backhand again just misses, but changes the level to the minute, AJ.
You gotta quit trying to put.
Taken here tonight.
Of course.
Gets a straight left, right down the pipe again. To the leg touch. Back on the legs. AJ playing it safe. Or will he go?
If you keep letting him get that close,
to the body. Big hands to the body from AJ. Oh, a straight left splits the guard. AJ with a cut in.
Backhand of his own again, Usyk.
A right hook from AJ, straight right. There's your answer from Usyk, getting in his groove. Usyk answers back.
From Usyk.
Straight up with that left hand, right on the chin. What has been a fantastic. Going right up the
there, Usyk. Good jab.
According to Darren Butler's scorecard.
Throwing anything.
footwork won't allow him to throw, but
Non-stop, 12 rounds.
then with that straight left hand again.
I think AJ's hurt.
Like that, like that.
Good action here.
He's
AJ is in trouble.
All three scores go to the winner by unanimous decision. And new heavyweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of Ukraine, Alexander Usyk.
Imagine you had invested in Google, Tesla, or Bitcoin back in 2009. Here's the next big opportunity.
If you're an accredited investor, I have something I think you're going to want to listen to. I consider it big news, but in a sense, it's old news because in 1994, Jeff Bezos made the move to e-commerce, quit his job, built Amazon.com.
All right, guys. When I seen that, I was like, yo, you can't tell me that this dude ain't the truth with that speed. That speed was nasty. That speed was straight nasty. For real. That speed was nasty. I give him that. I give him that. That speed was nasty. But the power, I just don't see the power behind that speed. And him going against Fury would eat Usyk alive. Usyk would go night-night. He would. So let's see who else is in the making here that could possibly get it. I just had to give y'all that highlight. So you got White that wants a piece of Fury. Now, if Usyk win the second match against Anthony Joshua, which I'm quite sure he probably will, yeah, it's hard seeing Usyk beat Fury. I don't see it. Usyk just ain't it, bro. Now, they're talking about this kid named
Verizon
Jared
has been named
Anderson.
America's most reliable
They think in a
network by
few years
RootMetrics, and our
he could
customers
get
rated us
Fury,
#1
but
for
that's the
network
thing about
quality
it.
in America,
Will Fury
according
still be boxing heavily in a few years? Because y'all notice a lot of greats are getting out the game early. You know what I'm saying? They get these big payouts that, you know, they're trying to keep their body and preserve it. Because when you play in a sport like this, you can get better. You know what I mean? So we don't know. I mean, I seen Jared Anderson a little bit fight, but I don't think he's ready quite yet for Fury. I think he needs a little bit more experience in the ring. Then there's Robert Helenius. Now, I don't think Helenius is. Sorry. I mean, he's 37. And he's like he was knocked out by a journeyman in 2000. I just don't think he is. So I don't know who would be worthy right now. I just don't think anybody can beat Fury. I think Fury's that guy right now. If Fury wasn't fighting, we would be probably talking about Deontay Wilder because of his power. But that would be it. Fury is that guy right now. Fury is that guy. Like he said last night, I'm number 1. Deontay Wilder's number 2. And we love, I mean, like I said, Deontay Wilder let his arrogance get the best of him. And he went out on his own shield. But, man, that shield was horrible. Because now, I just don't see old man. I don't know what he's going to do at this point. I really don't. I mean, I don't know. If I was, like I said, if I was Deontay Wilder, I would step away. I would step away from the game and just go out on my shield on top still. You got to respect everybody. You did your thing. You know what I'm saying? This ain't it, man. This is not it. I would stop. I would personally stop. So, y'all seen the highlights and everything else. Y'all get in the comment section on YouTube, and y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think that Wilder should retire after this. He's 35. It's 42 knockouts. 42 wins, 2 losses. Do y'all think he should just go and hang it up now? Because Fury ain't going nowhere no time soon. So you either going A, learn how to strategically box like Fury, or you need to hang it up. And to me personally, I think that Wilder need to hang it up, because it's starting to really be a proven fact that if you got power and you can box, you're impossible to stop. That's just facts. So anyway, y'all, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell up top. Please tell me what y'all think about Wilder. Should he retire? Do you think that Tyson Fury has anybody that could go against him right now that's active in heavyweight boxing that could really knock him out? Y'all get in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Please like, share, subscribe. I am out.